Welcome to Facts, Not Fiction. Join me, your host, Victor Roberts, this Thursday, the 29th at 7:30 p.m. sharp. Yes, 7:30 p.m. sharp for another Facebook Live as we discuss why hasn't Keith Rowley instructed his appointed chairman of Petrochem, his appointed board, to file an application to set aside the judgment of the arbitrators. Join me this Thursday, ladies and gentlemen. Is it for a few dollars more? Iowa George, tune into this live. Very important. I'm out.
Well, blessing good day, blessing good night to all. Blessing good night to all. Indeed, on my way for this live, we had a little vehicular trouble. So, of course, there's a lot of information that I had planned to bring forth to you tonight, but I will have to cut and paste. As the computer whiz will tell you, we'll cut and paste as we go on, okay? So I want to welcome each and every one of you to Facts, Not Fiction. Of course, this is a program that will continue to bring the facts to you, and we allow you to judge. We allow you to make the necessary decisions in relation to the information that we bring to you on a weekly basis. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you that there are three major diseases, apart from the so many in this country, that we believe they are the most deadliest of them all. And getting right into that, we believe number one, cardiac arrest. This is caused as a result of a sudden loss of blood flow resulting from the failure of the heart to pump effectively. And when this happens, we know for a fact that there is a problem. Secondly, ladies and gentlemen, diabetes. This is caused by a chronic health condition that affects how your body turns food into energy. Most of the food you eat is broken down into sugar and released into your bloodstreams. So when your blood sugar goes up, it signals your pancreas to release insulin. And of course, when that doesn't happen, you know for a fact that you have a problem. And the third that people respect is what is commonly called cancer. It is a group of diseases involving abnormal cell growth with the potential to invade or spread to other parts of the body. And this, of course, will tell you that we know for a fact that there is 4 different types of cancer that exists in our society today. But while I highlight to you what people consider to be the 3 major diseases in this country, I want to highlight to you now what is the 3 deadliest, the 3 most dangerous disease that people suffer with in this country without paying attention. And number 1, it's the disease of greed. Number 2, it is the disease of stupidity. And number 3 is when greed and stupidity mix together, it gives you the third disease, which is called a lack of thinking. That is what it is called. Ladies and gentlemen, there are also something that I want to draw your attention to this afternoon. Something that is called parasite. And when you look at a parasite, ladies and gentlemen, it is an organism that lives on or live on other organisms, resulting, ladies and gentlemen, in what we can commonly call ticks or fleas or barnacles. These is organisms that feed on other organisms to the benefit of themselves. So they draw all the substance, feeding on you, allowing you to become ill, and in some cases allowing you to die, while they themselves benefit from the nutrients of your body. This is a parasite. We have tapeworms. Tapeworms, they are parasites that operate within your system. So they hook on to your inner parts and they benefit while they make you ill. We also have fleas and ticks that live off of dogs or other animals, and they will suck the substance out of these animals, making them ill, and in some cases having them as what we will call deceased, losing their lives as a result of the fattening of the parasite. And then we will have what we call barnacles. And barnacles is something that will hold on, and you boat captains will know. They will hold on to your boat, they will slow you down, they will eat your propeller, they will eat out the bottom of your fiberglass boat, they will eat out the wood on your boat. They satisfy themselves to the expense of others. And ladies and gentlemen, a clearer example of parasite in this country is the PNM. That is the classic example of parasite in this country. Because they hold on to you. They will take everything out of you. They will have you to suffer. They will bring you to the lowest grade. And yet still, even when you are dying, they will take the last strength out of your body. That is the example of the PNM. Since I was pitching marbles, the place was good. I went and hit some doubles. The place was good. I went by the beach and I watched the skies. And what did I saw? I saw paradise. But when COVID-19 come, I saw trouble. And in order for the place to be good again, you must be vaccinated. Those are the words of Iowa George. Those are the lyrics of Iowa George in his new vaccination song that he sang for the Ministry of Health. Iowa George, I want to remind you something, my brother. I want to remind you, as your lyrics go in the song, when we were pitching marbles, the place was good. When we was eating doubles, the place was good. But Iowa George, what you are not remembering, my brother, is the code of ethics that we had in Point 14 and La Brea. What you are not remembering, my brother, is that even when you were singing nothing, Point 14 and La Brea supported you. Iowa George, even when you were holding your concerts and looking to raise money, La Brea and Point 14 supported you. And moreover, when we understand that a radio station was coming your way, we rejoice with you. And we rejoice not only with you, but we rejoice with each other, because we were of the opinion that here comes a grassroots, a man who go through the struggles like everybody else, a man who had the ups and downs like everybody else. And now a radio station is coming his way. We really thought that there were a voice for the poor and the oppressed. We believe that there were a voice coming for the downtrodden and those who live in poverty. We believe, Iowa George, that your radio station would be the voice of the people, because you comes from the people, and it was the people who supported you. So we believe that we would have had the opportunity to cry out against each and any politician who put themselves before the people. We believe that we would have had the opportunity to speak out loud and allow our message to travel through the airways, because we believe that you come from the grass and you understand what it means or what it meant to be grassroots. But lo and behold, my brother, when we thought that was the fundamental ideology, we now recognize that your station is no longer a voice for the poor and the oppressed and the downtrodden, but your station has now become a voice for the people's national movement. But my brother, the elderly folks always say that all good things will come to an end. So I rest that case for now, because time tonight is very short. Time is very short. But my brother, we really supported you through thick and thin. We stood with you when you of yourself needed that support. We give you that support, and we are expecting that you will give the people of this country your support and not a political party. I rest for now. My number is 316-4468. Feel free to call or to text or to voice your opinion, because this is a discussion that I would like us to continue, but I rest it for now. Secondly, as I move on, ladies and gentlemen, as we warm the thing up because time is short, ladies and gentlemen, I look at the newspaper Monday, July 26, and the big headlines were Petrochem attorneys pay $5.5 million. I have absolutely no problem with that. I believe when you work, you should be paid. But I also believe that when you are hired by an institution to look over the interests of that institution, I also want the institution to understand that there is something that is called fiduciary duties. And every board that is appointed by Keith Christopher Rowley government, they owe that duty not only to the board, but they owe that duty to the people of Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, as we warm up this thing, I want to ask Keith Rowley a couple questions about his friend. And if my brother Archie had a video, he could run that video for me. I want to ask Keith Christopher Rowley a question before I get into this Petrochem issue. Keith Rowley said, when he was confronted by the press, Keith Rowley said that if you have a friend, and the friend, you hear an allegation like this fake oil scandal, what would you do? Would you not call your friend to find out what is this all about? But added to that, we will realize that it's not A and V alone, it's Keith Rowley's friend. Because he didn't just call A and V, he called Vidya Devulki Singh after to find out what is this all about. And I quoted Rowley words. So he said you had to call your friend to find out, because if you don't do that, won't you think your friend will look at you funny? So he called Bash, he answer, and to top it up, he called Devulki Singh. And when he called Devulki Singh, he said that he asked, what is this about? And they both say they know nothing about the situation. But ladies and gentlemen, if all you want to believe, that is a matter for you. I can't tell you what to believe. But I want Rowley to know this afternoon, if he hear about that bacchanal, and he called his friend because he didn't want his friend to look at him funny, I want to ask him this evening if he know about this situation. And if he don't know about this situation, then his friend is watching he funny. But actually have it, run it. Run it. Ladies, this is 15 acres of land. This 15 acres of land, I want to ask Keith Christopher Rowley, who is the owner of this parcel of land? This parcel of land, ladies and gentlemen, this parcel of land will develop just as soon as the People's National Movement start back the highway to Point 14. Ladies and gentlemen, this 15 acres of land that you are seeing here, this video was sent to me. And I want to ask Keith Rowley if he know about this parcel of land here. I want to ask Keith Rowley if he know about all them pumping jack down in the back that is painted in blue. I want to ask him if he know about the white and brown dog houses that is situated on this compound in that 500 feet shed. I want to ask him if he know about those. And I also want to ask him if he know where this property is situated. This property, ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask Keith Rowley to find out if he friend and them watching he funny because them ain't giving him information. Them ain't telling Keith Rowley that this 15 acres of land that was developed just a couple years ago when the PNM won the election, that this 15 acres of land is land situated exactly in the center of where the highway have to pass. Where the highway have to pass, ladies and gentlemen, this large property is now standing while the previous government had already paid persons and displaced them, while negotiations was going on between this 15 acres and the government change, and one of Rowley friend now is in possession of this 15 acres. I want Keith Rowley to find out if he know that this big large establishment was constructed exactly in the path of the highway. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how the thing going in Trinidad. This is how I am wondering how much money would people be satisfied with in this country? How much money would people be satisfied with in this Trinidad and Tobago? And this is what is taking place. So what will eventually happen is when the highway reach on this said parcel of land, millions upon millions upon millions of taxpayers' money will go in one Rowley friend pocket for that parcel of land. That is how serious the thing is. That is how the game playing. The game is playing on a playing field where is only the financiers of the PNM that is scoring goals. A matter of fact, that football field only have one goal post, and that goal post is only PNM players, and all of them kicking in the same goal. So what is happening, ladies and gentlemen, is a clear case of the rich getting richer, as Prime Minister Keith Rowley said on a TV program. He have no problem with the rich getting richer so that the crumbs could fall down to you and I. Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we are supporting. Naya George, I want to say something to you. I want to say something to you. Sorry, Iowa George, not Naya. Iowa George, I want to say something to you. I want you to watch and see how the game playing in Trinidad while you living happy in the United States. This is how the game playing is one goal post, and it's simply one set of people scoring in that goal. When people who you know continue to suffer, continue to beg for a hamper, this is how the game is playing in Trinidad and Tobago. Ladies and gentlemen, I read on the newspaper Monday, July 26, about Petrochem lawyers getting 5.5 million. And that wasn't any interest to me, because you see, what these newspaper, what they are also doing, they are disguising the fact. They are disguising the real macaw. They are disguising the real issue. And the issue, ladies and gentlemen, is after 33 days has passed, the government have not instructed the board of Petrochem to file the application to have the arbitration decision set aside. According to the law, ladies and gentlemen, that governs the arbitration, no wonder Deborah Peak Senior Counsel had asked Petrochem to move quickly to deal with that arbitration situation. Because what is happening is that there are a 3-month period from the date of award. There is 3 months that the party have to deal with the situation. Added to that, there is no right to appeal against an arbitration award for error of law unless the parties have so agreed. In the absence of agreement, there has to be an application to the court for permission to appeal. You listening what happened there? You have to go to the court for permission for that appeal, and permission cannot be given unless either A, the award is obviously wrong, or B, it is open to serious doubt and it raises a question of general public importance. Ladies and gentlemen, I am trying to understand what Commoner and these board members is really about, because this is something here. When I see that Commoner is saying that it is being dealt with very appropriately and comprehensively, he's speaking in response to a question that was asked him by the press in relation to the appeal. He says it is dealing appropriately and comprehensively. As a matter of fact, he went on to say that lawyers are in discussion. But ladies and gentlemen, the chief lawyer, who is Deborah Peak, she wrote an 18-page document giving them the whole synopsis as to why they should have. Listen to this. It says in a confidential 18-page opinion done by Petrochem on the outcome. Let me start again. In an 18-page opinion done for Petrochem on the outcome of a recent arbitration between itself and A&V, Peak argued that the arbitration panel involved in this matter made fundamental errors in coming to their conclusion, and that the state-owned company had a good chance of success if it went to the High Court for relief. The opinion reads, in the premise, we are of the respectful view that the award disclosed gross and fundamental errors on the face of the award, and the arbitrators are guilty of misconduct in the conduct of their proceedings. The finding on the principal issue are irrational and unsupported by the evidence. For the foregoing reason, we are of the view that the prospect of setting aside the award is very good. Very good. Ladies and gentlemen, while the papers will mamaga you and talk about big headline, 5.5 billion payout, you are not seeing any headlines stating we are asking the government what is the position with filing the appeal. Prime Minister said he does not know if the defunct state-owned refinery Petrochem has appealed the arbitration. Keith Rowley, you for real? You really for real, Keith Rowley? You as the Prime Minister of this country, you are telling us that you don't know what Petrochem doing? Added to that, you are on record saying that the matter is a matter for Petrochem and not for you and your government. Keith Christopher Rowley, I want to find out this afternoon if all here is really about the people business, or if all is about putting money in all your friends and all your financiers' pocket. Because, Keith, you are the prime minister of this country, boy. You are the prime minister of Trinidad and Tobago. You are the gentleman that appoints Michael Commoner as the chairman of Petrochem. You are the man, Keith Rowley, that appoints the board of Petrochem. You were the man that appointed Espini to close down Petrochem. You are the man. You can't duck and run. You can't hide from reality and talking about you don't know is a matter for Petrochem. Keith Rowley, you should fire yourself, because either you're suffering with the boat disease. I want to ask you if you're suffering with greed and stupidity, because you is the prime minister of this country. There's a national situation where a state-owned company, according to the findings, would defraud over $200 million. You are, as you say, the prime minister. And if a state company, where you have your line minister at the time, Franklin Khan, and now the minister everything, Stuart Young, as the line minister, who will be liaising with the chairman, who will be reporting to the cabinet that you chair on the development and the way forward on the Petrochem issue. Stuart Young will report to you and the cabinet as to what is happening. And if this is the situation, Keith Rowley, and you are saying that Petrochem not doing what they're supposed to do, or if you are saying Petrochem dragging the feet, I could understand that. But when you, as the prime minister, as the leader of this country, as the man who chairs the cabinet, when you could tell us in this country that you ain't know what's going on there, and that is a matter for them, what you are saying to us, Keith Rowley, is that you are prepared to govern one section of the country, but you are not prepared to govern the section that your friend is implicated in. Because, Keith Rowley, if Kamla Prasad Bisesa was Keith Rowley and Bash let me use Ishgal Baran Singh. Kamla was Keith Rowley and Bash was Ishgal Baran Singh. And this situation come up where Kamla Prasad Bisasa's friend was involved in defrauding Petrochem, according to the audit, over $2 million. And Kamla Prasad Bisesa stood up and said to this country that that situation is a matter for Petrochem. You, Keith Rowley, would have tried your best to swing Kamla Prasad Bisesa by her neck. You would have been beaten every media house. You would have been propagating is the friend. You would have saying that you would have been saying that the prime minister have a responsibility to this country, and you would have beat every drum, every tassa, every pan to ensure that Kamla Prasad Bisesa take a fall for the negligence in that matter. I am asking you now, Keith Christopher Rowley, I am saying to you that if the shoes was on that foot, it would have been a different story. And let me add this to that. Your supporters would have been beat in the streets, crying for justice, walking up and down around the parliament, crying for justice. But because it is the PNM that is involved in this operation, then they're sitting down quiet. But I want to let them know that because of that fake oil scandal, Petrochem exists no more. Because of that scandal, ladies and gentlemen, you are now begging. I want to tell you something. As I go back to Iowa George song, that things was good, but in order for Trinidad to be good again, you have to be vaccinated. Today I stand by to let you know that if you want Trinidad and Tobago to be good again, it's not the vaccine to make Trinidad and Tobago good. It's not the Moderna or the Pfizer, or according to my good friend Anil, it's not the Siao to make Trinidad good again. If we want to make Trinidad good again, ladies and gentlemen, then we must get rid of the PNM. That is the only how we can make Trinidad good again. Because, ladies and gentlemen, we are seeing blatant disrespect for democracy. We are seeing blatant disrespect for justice. We are seeing blatant disrespect, ladies and gentlemen, in every aspect of governance in relation to this PNM administration. So while I like Iowa's song, there are some words that I will ask him to allow me to change. To make Trinidad good again is not vaccine, it's to get rid of the PNM and get rid of them once and for all. You can't tell me that Trinidad and Tobago is standing by to pay over $1.3 billion. $1.3 billion. And to the end of the day, we have a prime minister that telling us to our face that is not his problem, that is not a matter for he, that is a matter for Petrochem, that is a matter for the board, that is a matter for the chairman. Is that how the prime minister of a country govern a country with an issue of urgent public business? A situation where we will continue to suffer. A situation that the government put their backs against the wall. The government put their backs against the wall to save the friend and the financier in order. Well, I have to say, ladies and gentlemen, I am now wondering that how many government officials may very well be benefited from this $1.3 billion. I had to ask myself that question. Because we shut down Petrochem. As a result of shutting down Petrochem, we have over 20 and more service companies that go on with it. We have a heap of contractors go on with it. We have over 5, 6, 7, 8,000 people go on with that closure. We cannot, the GDP will continue to grow over and over as a result of that decision. We have no US money in this country as a result of the government decision. We are in serious financial debts as a result of the government's decision. And today, ladies and gentlemen, our prime minister is saying to us that he is not responsible. That is a matter for the board. Well then, if this is the case, prime minister, if that is the precedent that you intend to set, then you must not meddle in any board business. You must leave the boards and them to get on like a runaway horse, because that is what they're telling us. Is it because your friend are involved why we are in this situation? Is it because of your friend Prime Minister that you will not instruct the board that you appoint to file the application to have the judgment set aside after we have an attorney with 18-page of brief to the company stating that the arbitration, that the arbiters misbehave themselves? Is this what we supporting? Is this what this PNM has now come to in this country? Turning the eye blatantly to corruption, turning the eye blatantly to wrongdoing, turning the eye blatantly to the cry of the citizens of this country. Ladies and gentlemen, watch the hardship that come upon the people of this country as a result of the government decision to close down that institution. Watch the level of poverty that the government has brought upon us. Watch the amount of money that the government now soliciting all over the world. Money that they have no idea how they are going to pay it back. But our government doesn't care about that. And if you are a supporter of that type of behavior, and if you are a supporter of that type of politics, ladies and gentlemen, then you might as well sit back and wait for doomsday to reach, because all you will get out of this government behavior is doom and more doom. This PNM government is the worst PNM that you all are witnessing in this country. This PNM government is a government that you are ashamed of. But guess what? You are so ashamed of this government that you are now hiding your heads in the sand and leaving the rest of your body exposed. Ladies and gentlemen, Keith Christopher Rowley government, it is a government that doesn't care about you. I see the people in Brea continue to cry. They cry that they can't see the MP. They don't know if Maclashe drop out the sky, he drop off the moon, or he drop off the planet. All kind of cry. But this is not the first time they cry with that same kind of tears. They cry for other MPs the same way. But guess what? When the opportunity comes to sap your tears and to put a smile on your face, it was you who went back and voted for tears. The opportunity came August 10th. I spell it out for you. But you went back and you vote to cry. The only unfortunate thing about that is that there are those who vote to smile, but they had to cry also. That is the sad part about it. And this is what Trinidad and Tobago continue to support. Ladies and gentlemen, you vote for a man that you never see. You vote for a man because Rowley tell you vote for him. Rowley promised you a plyboard factory since in 2016. He promised that he's going to bring employment to you in 2016. He keep the ply and all you get the rest. In 2020, he put up a big, massive billboard and tell you that port is coming, housing scheme is coming. We already signed on the dotted lines. Memorandum of understanding is already in place, and the work will commence by September, October of 2020. One big billboard, it's still there watching all you. All of you vote for that billboard. So if all you vote for a billboard, all you expect is the billboard to represent all you see all the billboard, all you can't see all the MP. The billboard that stand up in the air, all you see that, but all you can't see all the MP. So don't cry. Again, all the advice. Don't cry. The opportunity will come again. You survived the last 5 years before August 10, 2020, and you will survive this again. But the time will come again that you will have the opportunity. And when that time reaches, ladies and gentlemen, you could vote for tears again if you so choose, or you could vote for a smile. Because I want to tell all you something. Under the plans of Kamla Prasad Bisesa, in the 2020 manifesto, Labre would have been laughing. Labre would have been a place that no PNM could win after 2020, but all you throw it away. All you throw away the plan that was coming. But it will come again. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to you this evening, we must demand that Keith Rowley instruct the board of Petrochem to file that appeal so that Trinidad and Tobago would be able to survive. Because outside of that, ladies and gentlemen, not only the money that is in the escrow account, that is money that Petrochem is holding in that account for oil. That money have nothing to do with the $1.3 billion that they are looking for. It have absolutely nothing to do with that. So when you do take check of this situation and you realize what happened in this country, then a message will be sent to the youths that the way to go is to be dishonest and you will benefit. Because the more people are dishonest in this administration, is the more they see the way, is the more money they make. And this is the message that is going out to the youth. The youth is saying, if them could thief blatantly and still get paid, then what we waiting on to start a thief too? And this is the silly message that is going out. The youths on the streets, they are saying that, look, this government thieving win. So if them thieving win, what is the position? We might as well go out and thief also. What are we setting for the future of this country? What are we doing to enhance this country going forward? We have a matter of fact, it's better everybody start to suffer with the same disease that the Minister of Health and the Prime Minister and all of them suffering from. Greed mixed with stupidity. It's better all of us get up and say, like, look, the watchwords of this country is every creed and race find an equal place. It's better we say that too. It's better we say that too. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I can understand how citizens in this country will allow what is taking place under this government to continue without raising their voices, without singing one song. I watch every organization in this country and they remind me of the days in the Anglican school where the teacher will tell you, fold your arms and put your finger on your lips. Every organization quiet. Nobody making noise. I remember under the UNC, ladies and gentlemen, it was like a steel band coming down the road, everybody making noise. And they making noise for information that Keith Rowley bring forth that wasn't authentic. They were bawling that the UNC were planning to kill journalists, only to realize that the emails were fake. Ladies and gentlemen, every quarter was crying. The church was making noise. The chambers of commerce, the NGOs, all the trade unions. And today, Keith Rowley bullying them. Keith Rowley bullying them. Hush them out. What do you mean? You mean that she confessed that she thieved the money and I condole in it? Every journalist, every group, all of them quiet. All of them eat it domino. All you eat domino until all you dumb for so. All you can't talk. That is what all you doing. And then media houses supporting what is happening for a few dollars more. There was a Western that I saw for a few dollars more. I think all you should look at it. Ladies and gentlemen, a few dollars more in this country is what have this country now stands as what it is. A few dollars more in this country is what we allow that Keith Christopher Rowley government will buy every institution under the disguise of COVID. Who get 300,000? Who get 500,000? Everybody who used to make noise get dumb for a few dollars more. Every religious group who was bad boys on the block, dumb. The teeth follow them out, a few dollars more. Keith only shared, give the religious organization 2 million and they will disperse it. And them so-called pastor and leader and them, they're smiling. Give the Muslims X amount, they will deal with it. And them get dumb to the smiling. Get this Hindu organization X amount and they will disperse it. Them get dumb too. Everybody smiling for a few dollars more. This country going down the drain and everybody quiet. Trade unions quiet. NGOs quiet. Churches quiet. Mondays quiet. Mosques quiet. Chambers of commerce quiet. And citizens, all your finger and all your lips, no noise. It is so sad to see how our motherland has become simply because of a few dollars more. People will sell their birthright for a few dollars more. People will give up, and they are giving up their manhood for a few dollars more. It is so sad. I have seen institutions that were so powerful in this country now becomes dumb under Keith Rowley watch. I have seen institutions that prime ministers used to walk circumspect now become quiet under Keith Rowley. I have seen people accepting what nobody would have ever believed that we would have accepted in our lifetime as a people under Keith Rowley. I am seeing people who was well off, who work hard, who have worked and toiled day and night. I have seen those individuals now lining up for hampers under Keith Rowley. I have seen, ladies and gentlemen, this country take a fall before COVID-19. Before COVID-19, this country take a face flat fall that they could never rise again under this dictator, under this dictatorship government that they call the PNM. I have seen, ladies and gentlemen, people suffering, begging, cannot make ends meet under this government, and yet still they are dumb. You know why? A lady called me this week and she tell me, she said, Victor, I went by the PNM office to collect a hamper. And you know what they tell me? They tell me you can't get no hamper. We didn't see you walking with the UNC candidate. You see what it come to, ladies and gentlemen. You see what this thing come to in this country. You see what we are tolerating in this country. A plate of food now becomes a political issue under the PNM. A meal now becomes a vote under the PNM. In other words, what they are saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you don't vote for we, you don't eat. And that is where they have brought you. They have brought this country to depend on handout. They have failed to educate our children. For over 15 months, our children is without an education. The ministry said over 34,000 did not access the online learning. This is what the PNM intend to do to us, to keep us uneducated. And when they keep us uneducated, they are able to rule us. They are able to lead us as a horse with a blind on its eye. They are able to carry us in any direction that they so feel. This is the motive of the PNM. They will continue to destroy families. They will continue to break the stronghold. And they will put you in a state of poverty, a state of dependence, a state where you have to cry and ask for food, and then they will provide a touch to your mouth. That is where the PNM is taking this country. That is where they are taking us. And you, ladies and gentlemen, you must rise up against that. And when I mean rise up against that, you must talk with one voice. We must call for elections. We must call for the removal of this government. We must call, ladies and gentlemen, for this government to call an election where we can recover from this disaster that is upon us under this regime. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that is not too late. It is not too late for us to salvage what is at hand. Ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow may be too late. Tomorrow may be too late. Sit down in the confines of your home and look and see your condition. Look and see where you were to where you now stand. Look and see, ladies and gentlemen, what has happened to your life under this administration. And if you realize that the direction in which this administration continue to take you, it is a direction of disaster. I am asking you today, ladies and gentlemen, to sing with one voice and allow the walls of Jericho to fall, whereby your children and your grandchildren will experience what is freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a leader who had led this country, a leader who has brought to this country every form of prosperity, every form of assistance. Under Kamala Prasad Bisesa, ladies and gentlemen, you were living well. You were living as families. Under Keith Christopher Rowley, you now have to live as strangers. I am saying to you, ladies and gentlemen, cry with one voice. Cry hard enough. And just maybe, just perhaps, ladies and gentlemen, rescue will come in our direction, where we will be able to live again as a people and live in order to bring about the necessary change that will move Trinidad and Tobago forward. And we have the opportunity to cry hard enough and force this government to call election. Force them to call election. Cry hard and force them to call election. Because the voice of the people, ladies and gentlemen, is the voice of change. And therefore, I urge you to stand together, stand united, and let us ensure that to the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, we reinstall a leader of compassion, a leader of love, a leader who have led you to the walks and to the roads of victory. I am speaking about none other than the Honorable Kamala Prasad Bisesa. I thank you. I out.
Politics, we don't get no kicks. Trinidad and Tobago to we